Anything you wanted to mention?
No.
Okay, so
it's just if you generally if you go into these kinds of effects and stuff like that, then DaVinci Resolve is very limited.
yes, that's the only problem.
It doesn't. The free version doesn't come with any effects whatsoever. The only thing you get is like text-based stuff. So you can create simple title cards or whatever, or simple text animations.
Yeah.
But this stuff, nah. Mm-mm.
It's not really, obviously that's if you want to get really into, really deep into that kind of stuff. There is a fairly, good amount of things that you can actually do with all of this. Like, for example, you got the titles. For example, I use these quite often. Each title, like, you can have a text. Just to say we want to have a basic text. So, for example, right here, we got the basic text, and you can add that text and you can change the text over here. As you can see, you can put, Global Gaming, for example, and you can change the font. Very simple. It's very self-explanatory over here. So you can have the different color on it, and you can have different things. And then if you want to move it around, the position is right here. You can actually move it left and right, up and down, and you'll be able to have that thing like right on the middle of the thing. You can add a background, you can add a drop shadow, you can add a few different things. So all the settings are right here. And then you can adjust it to be like, for example, you want to make it slightly bigger to be just as the other one. So you have the same as the Twitch thing, but when the Twitch thing actually hits, the lower val gaming will hit right underneath. So you can create you can create graphics like that really easy, really, it's super simple. One thing I actually use, and it's not by default, is this little symbol over here. If you click on this symbol, the snapping symbol, it makes your life slightly easier, because as you can see over here, like it's the lower val gaming and the symbol is actually out of sync, both of them. So the lower val gaming will disappear first, and then the Twitch symbol, the Twitch logo actually will disappear later. So in order for you to fix that kind of stuff, you turn on the snapping. And if you turn on snapping, as you can see over here, now when I'm going to move this thing, it's gonna snap right there. You see, it's got some like a little arrow, and it's gonna be snapping exactly on that symbol over here. So as you can see right now, they both appear at the same time, and they both disappear at the same time. So the snapping is quite useful if you're trying to adjust sounds, or you try to adjust graphics like this. You can turn it off anytime. Just like snapping is just pressing N, so you can turn it on and turn it off anytime you want. This is basically what you're gonna do. And I want to have like maybe let's add a video transition. You can add a video transition, which is like you can test the video transition by just scrolling through it. As you can see right here, that's the video transition. If you go left and right, you will see how the transition works. And like, let's just say we want to have the blur dissolve over here. So what you have to do is just basically all you have to do is drag it to the actual thing. Some of them will not be able to because of the size of the actual clip. But if you add it over here, the blur dissolve, it should have like a little image. Let me just zoom in. You can zoom in and zoom out over here. So if you go over here, as you can see, the symbol actually appears right here. You can't really say if it's too zoomed out, like you can't really notice it. But if you zoom in, if you're gonna add any transitions, you can zoom in and you can see the transition right here. You can increase the transition and you can lower the transition. As you can see, you can increase it, you can decrease it as much as you want. Let's just say we want it to be like around this area, and right now we can see how the dissolve happens and the next one appears. So all you gotta do is basically, you can have different type of transitions. Usually the ones I use is the blur dissolve. Is kind of like the, you know, the easiest one to use. You got the additive dissolve as well, the cross dissolve. These ones are the most popular ones. And then you have like, you know, a ton of different things. You got the door, you got the push slide, which is actually used quite often. The push is used as well all the time. You know, you got different type of transitions over here. You know, I really, you know, obviously you mess around with these kind of things, and, you know, you add them depending on what you want to be adding. You know, obviously I usually pick like 2 or 3. As you can see, the symbol, the star symbol, you can actually make this one your favorite by just clicking on the actual symbol. So let's just say the slide right is the one that we want to be, you know, it's one of my favorites, and I want to be using this quite often. So you go into the star, there is a little star over here. So if you click on that star, it will be saved as one of your favorites, and that will stay always forever there. So if you just, you know, instead of going through each and every single one of them, you go and scrolling and you see, oh, there is a star. This is mine. This is the one I want to use. You were gonna be saying something, Orko? Orko is gone. Bye-bye, Orko. So,
can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. There you go. Now I can hear you. What's going on?
A flying dude. What's that? Okay. So what I wanted to say is, like, if you start out editing, I know this is all exciting and new and fresh and amazing. Just make sure that at some point you basically find a little bit of your own editing style. That you like use just a certain set of transitions and just a certain set of stuff you want to do, because it also is kind or part of your brand, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like, you develop your own style at some point and people will notice.
Yeah. So exactly, like that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe you like a type of transition. You may change it, you know, from time to time and whatnot, but it's gonna be kind of like your signature. I usually have a transition or two who are kind of like my favorite ones, and it's always, you know, the blur dissolve, you know, kind of like the cross dissolve or the smooth cut. Then those are kind of like, these are my favorites. These are the ones that I use the most often. So they're kind of like your signature at the end of the day. Don't just go crazy with 20 different transitions. Just use the 1 or 2 that you actually like. Use the same one on your videos all the time. Just try to stick to kind of like, don't overcomplicate things. Just, you know, transition is just a transition. It is what it is.
And know when to do a transition. Like, just because you have a cut doesn't mean you need a transition.
Yeah. Sometimes having a cut on itself. By the way, if you want to remove the transition, all you have to do is, let's just say we are, you know, on this video thing. All you have to do is click on the actual transition. You see it will light up in orange, and all you have to do is press the backspace, and that's it. It's gone. Maybe you want this to be cutting straight onto the next page, you know, onto the next part of the video, so you don't want to have any transition. So, you know, obviously. That's actually used on TikTok quite often, you know, like cutting straight onto the next section of the video without any transitions. So obviously you have to analyze what you know, what you gotta do here as well. So I think that's pretty much everything covered on these things. So there is several different things that you can see over here. You have all the media over here. You can add all the media that you want. This is basically like the cut version. You know, you have all the stuff over here. You have, you know, you can change, you know, the size of all of this. So basically this, I don't really use this version of this because I use everything over here. It's a little bit more, there's a lot more things going on the screen. If you want just to edit your video without, like, let's say you have all your clips and everything put on your video and you don't want to change anything else, but you want to adjust it and make adjustments, you can use this feature. This is actually a lot easier for you to use, you know, because you see everything in one place, the clips, or there is nothing else going on the screen. It's literally you, your video, and your editing. So like literally you can see how many different tracks do you have in here. You can see all the tracks, and you can adjust your tracks as you want over here. So it's kind of like easy for you to see because every single change is going to be shown on the screen. You see the comparison between one screen and the other as you're doing the changes. I don't edit as much. I'm not as professional for me to be using something like this. I usually go on to the edit, and on the edit I can find everything, and I can, I'm used to this page actually. Also, you have over here the fusion, which I've never really used. This is if you want to get deep into the editing. And another thing that I do use over here, it's something that is, the color thing. So on the color thing is something that not many people actually use, but I find that quite useful. If you have the color thing, you can add sources, you can add nodes, you can actually correct the color. You can add a node for correction of the color, so you can change the colors over here, and you can add gamma, you can add offset, you can add some shading to make it look a slightly different. All you have to do if you want to add the nodes, all you have to do is select the green to the green and the green to the green over here, and this is gonna act as a filter. So let's just say this filter, we want it to be like, it's gonna change, as you can see, how the color is changing. So you can change the coloring, you can change the shading, you can make it a little bit darker, a little bit clearer. So obviously, if you want, if you need to do some editing in terms of like the visuals, you can create this node. Also, you can save this node over here. As you right click it, save as shared node, and this node will always be present. So every single clip that you do, let's just say we have 2 clips. If you go on to the next clip, as you can see, that node has disappeared. So now what we're gonna be doing is save the node, and now if we go on to the next clip, the node is not here. So we're gonna right click, and we're gonna add a node, and you can see right here at the bottom it says share node, and that node is right here. So we're gonna link this, and we're gonna link this again. Boom, there you go. That's the node. And that obviously this node, whatever changes we made to this node, has been applied to the second clip as well. You can have several other things, like you can have a linear stuff, or you can have like a lot of like different things over here. So it's just obviously you have to try with this, play around and see what you like out of this. Let's just go on to the last page. Also, something that before I go, something to mention, if you want to grab a capture for this, for let's just say for your thumbnail or something, if you want to actually grab a capture, if you right click on the image that is right here on the middle, you right click on it and it says grab still. So if you click on that, that still will be going onto this side. So this is an actual image. So this image, you can actually export it. And if you export this image and you go and select PNG, so it will be saved as a PNG file. And if you click export, now let's go back in here. As you can see right here, this is the image that we actually exported. So if let's just say you want to use this image as your thumbnail, you can actually export and use this image as your thumbnail. So you can export whatever image you have done on your editing. And last one, this is the sound. If you want to adjust any sounds, I don't usually use this, as I adjust everything within the edit version of this. And the last one, the last node is going to be the export. So if you want to export something, you can select the file location. You can go and select whatever location you want your file to be, and you can select the title of your file. Right? So also you have the custom, the YouTube, if you want to export it as YouTube format on Full HD, on Ultra HD, or whatever you want to export it. If you want to export it onto Vimeo or Twitter or any other version. So usually I just go into the custom that I have my own set already, but the custom basically that I have is basically the same thing as the YouTube on 1080p. So they actually give you an option of actually going onto uploading straight onto YouTube. You can literally go onto YouTube, upload this thing, have your title, have your description, have your visibility, and have the category done. And literally all you gotta do is add it to the render queue. So once we finish with the video, let's just say we have everything done, we've edited everything, and we are happy with it. So now that we're happy with it, we are gonna go onto this. We're gonna upload it straight onto YouTube. We're gonna add a title and we're gonna add a description to it. So we're gonna save it as a private because we don't want it to go live right away. So we want it to be saved as a private, and then I'll schedule it later on. So this is gonna be about gaming, and then I'm gonna be adding it to the render queue, and here is on the render queue. And all you gotta do now is render it. So once you click render all, it's gonna be done, and it's gonna be rendering the job that is done over here. So if you're gonna be rendering several videos, I recommend you to render one by one. Just finish finish your edit, render it, and if you want to do a different cut, a different edit, just do it again and then edit it individually. Because obviously this will spike your CPU to the highest, to its limit. So that is how you render it. That's how if you don't want to export it directly to YouTube, you don't have to do it. You can export it to your PC, and once you export it to your PC, you render it. Now you can post it anywhere you want. So this is how simple it is to edit a video and render it. Shall we go, Orgosaurus, onto a format for TikTok?
Yes, definitely. We should do that.
TikTok or Shorts, you're gonna have on the cogwheel on the bottom right, like Orgosaurus just mentioned, you can change this setting to 1080 by 1920. And if you change that and you save it, the timeline, as you can see right here, it will be completely changed. So now you have the timeline on vertical rather than horizontal. So right now you can see right here. So let's just say you want to grab a different, you want to have this and you want to have a space of this code. We're going to do like a clip on Destiny, for example. So we're going to have a clip on Destiny. So we're going to have, let's just say this, we're going to put it on top and the other thing is going to disappear. And let's just say I want this image to be, let's just grab the image only. We want this image to be on top and we want this to be shown over there. Let's just mute this so we don't have the sound going off. So let's just say I want this little thing to be gone. Let's just go this one, and I want this to be on the top. So to increase the size of this video, so you select on the video, and like we did before, let's zoom it. You have to zoom it all the way to the top. There we go. So that is basically on vertical, like you would see on TikTok. That's exactly how you're gonna see it. And let's just say we want this part of the video, instead of being on top, we want this part of the video to be shown, let's just say on the top. So let's just say this is kind of like my camera, that's your webcam that you want to actually, record your face. So you can crop this by cropping it left or right. Let's just say your face is right there. Let's just say your face is right there. This tiny square, this tiny black square is your face. So we are going to do that. We're going to crop it, and then we're gonna put it, zoom it. You can zoom it out, zoom it in. So let's put it around that size, and we are gonna go and put it up there. So let's just say that black square is your face. So as you can see right there, so the gameplay is playing and your face is right at the top. You can actually add some things like a little bit of a, let's just say you want to have a, I don't know, you can have a little bit of softness around it. You can have the soft edges rather than being square. You want to have a little bit of soft edges. You can have, you see the fading that is going on right there. So at the bottom, there is on the cropping, on the bottom, it says softness. On the softness, you can actually change the softness and adjust the softness to be like a little bit like that. You can see the softness going off. So it's kind of like softening on the edges, and it's not as what it looked like before. And as you can see right here on the gameplay, your camera will be at the top, and you can have your camera, and you can, you know, just adjust it. So basically same thing as we have done with everything else. Once you're finished with this, you have edited this clip. This is how easy it is to edit a TikTok. This is how easy it is. Obviously, there is websites that do it for you completely free and easily, but that's it. All you gotta do is render it. So I would recommend you to render it like this as a custom. Obviously, the custom resolution, which is 1080 by 1920, 60 frames per second, and add it to the render queue and render this, and you will have your TikTok format video. Simple as that, and it's super easy. Like, there is absolutely no problem. If you don't, you know, like, it's super easy to, you know, to edit videos with this program. The basics is very easy. If you want to go deep into it, obviously there is a lot more to it. Right now, before you leave, make sure you save the project. Save the project, or save the project as whatever you want to call it. You want to go with this. Save the project as TikTok videos. So you save this format for TikTok videos, and then you have the horizontal videos to save the horizontal videos as a specific horizontal videos for YouTube. So you can have, remember always to save the project as a different name. So let's just say we're going to call this TikTok, and we save this project as TikTok. And it will always be this format when I go onto this. And Orcosaurus, anything else that you wanted to mention about this?
Please do me one favor. You do not know how much time I've lost over this.
Yes.
Save your projects while editing. Do not forget that.
Save, always. Control S if you don't know it.
Save, and
Control S.
save again. And
Control
then save
S.
one last time. Because these programs, I mean, DaVinci Resolve is not, but if you look at Vegas, if you look at Adobe, if you look at Filmora, they're all crash prone for some reason.
Yeah. It does crash. Remember, it does crash.
Yeah. And this rather frequently.
Yeah. Believe it or not, because it uses a lot of resources on your PC, and it tends to crash. You know, because it's gonna be like, obviously it's a very you know, like if you spend, let's just say if you spend about an hour here and it crashes, you're gonna lose all the progress that you haven't saved. So always remember to save. Is Control S, shortcut, simple, Control S, boom, saved. That's it. That's all you need to do. You can save over here, obviously, if you want to do it. It says right next to it, you know, the shortcut. But save, if you're editing any videos, always save it, you know, every 5-10 minutes. You know, make sure you save it. Just Control S every 5-10 minutes. When you made that change, for example, you made something and you like it, how it looks like, Control S, save it, boom, is it. Also, if you haven't saved and you have made some changes, like for example, let's add this to the side. Once you quit, if you haven't done it before, once you quit, it will tell you, do you want to save this as TikTok? Yes. Save it, and when it comes out, it will be saved. And once you open it again, you will see that your DaVinci Resolve will be saved on the screen. It'll be saved as TikTok right here. So this is the project that we have done before, and this is the TikTok project. And I think that's it. That's everything. Yeah. In here, you can actually, you know, import, export. If you right click it, delete it, cut, you can do whatever you want with it. So I think, Orcosaurus, shall we say this is the end? This is everything. Do you have any other pointers?
No, this is it.
This is how easy it is to edit videos. It takes time. It takes a lot of time. And it might be a little bit difficult at the beginning, but I think you can do it with practice. You can catch Orcosaurus on
twitch.tv/theorcosaurus and on YouTube, Orcosaurus.
And all socials as well, Orcosaurus as well. So, and you can catch
the Orcosaurus. On all socials. That's important.
Okay, so you can catch him as well on all the socials as well, and you can catch me as well on all socials as Lord Val Gaming, and on twitch.tv/Lord Val Gaming every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And also like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay up to date with everything Lord Val Gaming, gaming tutorial, and walkthroughs, and everything else. And until next time, bye bye.
Bye bye.